Oh, it's a tribute to Elvis, which is going to be on August 16th, which is the 38th anniversary of his death, which was August 16th, 1977. So a tribute to Elvis is going to be dealing with his life, his friends, his music from the 1940s to the 1970s. And to do that, we have a cast of over 33 people that are doing all types of different characters. We have three Elvises. Wow. We have the young Elvis, we've got the middle Elvis, and then the Vegas Elvis. Oh. And then we have other of the performers of those eras from the 40s to the 70s. And one of them is Etta James, right, famous for her beautiful music. Etta James is here with me in costume.
My name is Elisa Pleddy, and I play Etta James in the show. I am an artist, a professional singer here in San Antonio, recording artist. I act as well, and I'm a vocal coach. So I have a studio by the name of Vocal Directions, and I've been blessed to teach various people on different TV shows such as The Voice, American Idol, and X Factor. So it's been all right. At last, my love has come along. My lonely days are over, and life is like a song. Oh yes, yes, at last. Oh!
Yeah. Well, my next guest is Mr. Gary Garcia. Now, he actually started as a dancer. Slowly, he started to sing, and when I met Gary, I just saw the potential in him. Oh my gosh, and I remember telling him, you can do this, you can actually do this, because he was just doing one song, two songs, and then he just began to embody the whole Elvis persona. You know, he started studying him and just, you know, devouring everything he could about information.
Well, my name is Gary the Showman. I go by that on stage. Gary the Showman. I'm a singer, performer, entertainer. I also do, I have a company. I do impersonators, and I do live band. I have a live band too as well, variety show. So not only I just, you know, portray Elvis, impersonate Elvis, I do many other things like Bobby Darin, things of that nature, you know, a lot of the Motown kind of music. I love, you know, the 50s and 60s era. You know,
he even does Charlie Chaplin.
I've done, I do Charlie Chaplin as well, and I'll be doing Charlie Chaplin in December 19th at the Tobin Center. Well, you know, since I was a child, you know, I've always mimicked, you know, the New Kids on the Block and Vanilla Ice, you know, I mean, that was my thing back then, and I started off dancing, you know, and even Patsy, when she saw me then, she was like, I don't know how she got my number. She's like, I want you to be one of my...
Talk about inspirational.
And speaking of inspiration, I mean, if it wasn't for Patsy to come in my life, you know, this woman inspired me to be the person that I am now. Yeah. She is molding me. I'm learning tons and tons from this lady.
Yeah. And tons. You know, that's one...
Wise men say only fools rush in, but if I can't help falling in love with you, take my hand, take my whole life too. But if I can't help falling in love with you. Thank you very much.
Well, our next star, he's Frank Sinatra here, but he is also going to be Little Richard and Roy Orbison. He is a San Antonian, but he's not originally from here, but we are so lucky to have him here. Mr. Stan Wayne.
Thank you, Patsy. My name is Stan Wayne. I've been performing for about 25 years now. I came here in September, it'll be 10 years, from the Storm Katrina. I had a casino show on the Biloxi Gulf Coast there for about 8 years. And my wife was born and raised here in San Antonio, so when the hurricane came, she said, I'm going back to Texas. And I said, well, I'm going with you. And it's been great. And I've lived all over. I've lived in Vegas, New York, Miami. And San Antonio was the only city that ever opened itself up to me and my family. The musicians helped me find work. My kids got enrolled in high school. And everybody here is probably the friendliest welcome I've ever gotten in any city I've ever lived in. And since I've been here, I've had a couple of grandchildren, so they'll bury me here. My mom and one of my uncles used to dance on American Bandstand. And so as a kid, the only ones I seen in my neighborhood, and my uncles hung out with like Frankie Avalon and Fabian and Bobby Wright. Sinatra.
Yeah.
In the wee small hours of the morning, while the whole wide world is fast asleep, you lie awake and think about the girl and never ever think of counting sheep. When your lonely heart has learned its lesson, you'd be hers if only she would call. In the wee small hours of the morning, that's the time you miss her most of all.
Now here we are with the producer of our show, AABCD Star Productions, Bianca Cortinas.
Hi. Well, I started off with my children performing and dancing. As they grew, they got a lot of knowledge and understanding with choreography, and I started when we first started, my son was a dancer, my children. So they did a lot of entertainment, they did a lot of theater. He got picked up, we went to Hollywood. Well, I really think that they should motivate their children to learn entertainment, because it's very important. There's so much knowledge to understand and know. And that also gives children a lot of self-esteem.
We're here with Stephanie from the Texas Red Wolves basketball.
Hello.
You must be so excited.
Very excited because everything's been happening so fast. We kind of came into this literally just a few months, and everything's been growing really, really fast. It's about believing in what you want, what your goals are, and running after them. Keeping those wheels going. I mean, you really have to be motivated and loving every moment of it. You'll have your hardship.
Oh, yeah.
We learned that, but still going through with it, you know, and believing in what you really want to accomplish.
How did you get involved with the Red Wolf?
And actually, a gentleman by the name of Jerry Burnell came to my husband and I, brought the idea to us, and we loved his drive, and just like Rita, I'm about the community. I love doing community outreach, and my thing is we have so much talent here in San Antonio, exactly for that reason. Funny thing is my oldest son loves basketball, loves basketball, but he probably would never be a basketball player, but his thing was, I know I can never play basketball, but I would love to be a GM one day.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
He's awesome. He's a go-getter.
because we have our CPR business as well, and he's one of our main instructors for CPR. So it's me kind of following where my boys' hearts are. I have 4 boys and a daughter, and my thing is, we can incorporate what's out there, and the opportunities that they felt that needed help in are the things that we're looking to put out there, because there's a lot of talent in so many areas, and if we just open those horizons, it's just it's endless.
Ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to miss a tribute to Elvis commemorating the 38th year of his passing on the day, August 16th, this Sunday. 2 shows, a 2 o'clock matinee, a 6 o'clock evening. And we're talking about the story of Elvis, his life, his music, his legendary friends from the 40s to the 70s. I'm going to be sharing all kinds of little tidbits about tying in Elvis and San Antonio. You would be surprised how many things tied in that way, and other little known facts about Elvis that people don't know. Because every time I've done a show like that, you hear the what out in the audience, like they didn't know that. So like I said, it's going to be edutainment, because I am an edutainer by trade. So it's going to be fun. It's going to have dance troupes with the children performing, all these different characters, impersonators, singing, dancing. What more could you ask for? And Elvis in the building.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Patsy Flores, and you want to give away your contact information?
Sure. And one more thing, you can buy the tickets at the box office or on Ticketmaster. If you go on Ticketmaster, then you can reserve your seat right away, which we do suggest you do, and the tickets are only $20. It's a super deal for a super show. My contact information is just www.patsytorres.com, and the phone number is 210-674-5439. But for tickets, contact Ticketmaster or the Joe Long Carver Theater box office.
Thank you so much.
All the angels cheer just because we're together. Weatherwise, it's such a cuckoo day.
At the end of the lonely street, that heartbreak goes in loud. Heartbreak is so lonely, baby. Heartbreak is so lonely. Heartbreak is so lonely, I could die. You ain't nothing but a hound dog creeping at your door. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. I'm in love. I'm all shook up. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, good morning, guys. We have all back to Great Masters, and thank you to everybody who came with the Tracy Lynn's fashions, and thank you to our performers, thank you to our studio audience, and thank